Hey guys, so the last thing that we're going to be learning about on the gas laws unit is Dalton's law of partial pressures. This idea is very simple. It's just that the total pressure of a gas is equal to the sum of its individual parts. So basically, I can tell the pressure of air based on the pressure of nitrogen and the pressure of oxygen and the pressure of helium and the pressure of carbon dioxide and any other gases that are present in that air. So the individual gases have what we call partial pressures. So the pressure of oxygen is the partial pressure, which means that it's only a part of what makes up the total air. So usually in one of these problems, we'll see some sort of chart or we'll see a list of different gases, and you have to find the missing part, or you have to find the total. So let's take a look at how to solve these. So let's say that the total pressure of the ambient air, which is basically just the air that I'm breathing right now in my living room, is 760 millimeters of mercury. Okay, let's say total of ambient is 760. I know that the partial pressure of oxygen is 158. The partial pressure of water is 5.7. And the partial pressure of nitrogen is 596. I want to know, what is the partial pressure of carbon dioxide in this ambient air? So let's take what we know, subtract it from our total to get our missing piece. Okay, so I know that I have 158, 5.7, and 596. I'm making sure to line up all of my decimal places where they're supposed to go so that they're a little bit easier to add. Okay, so when I add this up, I'm going to get, let's see, 8 plus 5 is 13, plus another 6 is 19, that's 15, and 7. Okay, so my total is 759.7. I'm going to take my total, 760, subtract the parts, 759.7, to get my partial pressure of carbon dioxide, which is going to be 0.3 millimeters mercury. Okay, so the partial pressure of carbon dioxide is 0.3 millimeters mercury. I'm going to fill that in right here. 0.3 mmHg. That is my partial pressure of carbon dioxide in ambient air, so the air that I'm breathing right now. Okay, let's do another one. So for each of these problems, you have to be told either all of the partial pressures to find the total, or you have to be told the total to find one of the missing partial pressures. So you have to be told all but one value, no matter what the problem is. So let's look at the next one. Okay, so I'm told that the partial pressure, or that the total pressure of expired air is also 760 millimeters of mercury. Okay, so the total for expired is also 760. Okay, this is like the air that you're breathing out. So I'm exhaling this. This is being expired. Okay, so this is my total. These are my parts. This one is missing. I don't know what it is. So let's find it. I'm going to add up what I know. So 28, 47, and 565. Okay, I'm just adding up everything that I know from that one column. These are my parts. Okay? So, 8 and 7 is 15, plus another 5 is 20. 10, 14. All right, 640. So I know that my partial pressures of carbon dioxide, water, and nitrogen add up to 640 millimeters mercury. I know that my total is 760. So let's find the difference that goes right there. So 760 minus 640 is equal to 120 mmHg. So I can say that the partial pressure of oxygen in expired air is equal to 120 millimeters of mercury. Okay? Let's finish this out. Okay. In the next problem, I am told the total pressure of the humidified air. Okay, so total of humidified, that's like if you are turning on a steam humidifier, or if you get in the shower, if you have a hot pot of boiling water going. So I'm told that the total pressure of humidified air is 759.3. Millimeters mercury. Okay, so that is my total pressure for humidified air. So it's slightly less pressure than what we saw with ambient or expired air. So let's find our humidified air right here. So I can see the partial pressure of oxygen is 149, carbon dioxide is 0.3, water is 47. I don't know my nitrogen value. We're going to find nitrogen. Okay, so let's add up what we know. 149 plus 0.3. Make sure that you keep your decimals where they're supposed to go. And 47. Okay, that's 0.3. Okay, so my partial pressure of oxygen, carbon dioxide, and water here is 196.3 millimeters of mercury. Now we need to find the difference between the total and what I already know to get my unknown, my nitrogen. So I'm going to do 759.3 minus 196.3. Notice I'm keeping all my decimals in line. Okay. So I get that my partial pressure is 563.0 millimeters mercury for nitrogen. Okay, the last value in this table is in the alveolar air column. Alveolar air is the air that is in your lungs. So this is like once you breathe it in, this is the air that is in the innermost pockets inside the lungs where the gas exchange is going on. Okay, so it tells me that my alveolar air is 764 millimeters mercury. And these are all coming from your study guide, okay? So if you're wondering where I'm getting these values from, they are from the study guide. So you can go back and check on those. This is on, looks like section 8. So just make sure that you take a look at those. All right, so it tells me that my total alveolar air pressure is 764 millimeters mercury. I know that my pressure of oxygen for alveolar air is 104. carbon dioxide is 40, and nitrogen is 573. So let's find our last missing piece, which is the partial pressure of water. So let's add up what we know. 104 plus 40 plus 573. Okay. So my total, not including water, is 717 millimeters mercury. To find my difference, I'm going to subtract that. Okay, so my total is 47 millimeters mercury for water. So that is how to solve problems using Dalton's law of partial pressure. Again, Dalton's law of partial pressure just says that the total pressure is equal to the sum of its parts. Okay, so the total pressure of expired air is equal to the sum of all of these parts. So if you don't know one part, but you know the total, subtract them all out. Okay, so I hope this has helped, and let me know if you have any questions.